Alright, hi guys. So 2024 was a year of learning, unlearning, and relearning, and with this learning comes lessons and experiences. So essentially, this is a video of me talking about the lessons I learned in 2024. Hi guys, my name is Victory, and you're welcome to my territory. Just like how you have seasons, just like how you have winter, summer, autumn, and spring, or for our case, dry and rainy season. You realize that some people are in our lives in certain seasons, not to be as a part of our core friendship, but to sometimes help us through a process, sometimes to play a pivotal role in a season within our life. Not necessarily that they'll become your long-time friend. Yeah, some people just exist for a certain season. Sometimes it could be to teach you one or two things. Sometimes it would be, but yes, for you to just learn a few things from them. So I don't want to use the word gain, but like truly, if for you to gain one or two, it can be for you to gain one or two things from them, to learn from them. If it could be knowledge, it could be assistance. It could be actually assistance. We can tend to overshoot these things sometimes and feel bad when the seasons come to an end. But then by discernment, because if you use your own intuition, there's been by discernment, and discernment or the honesty is where we can differentiate these times, these seasons, and also outside just people though, also places. Like if you know how items that are purchased, particularly things that can spoil, things that can spoil people, things that have a shelf life. When you leave them on a shelf past their shelf life, you start diminishing in quality. Right, not because you did anything. You just basically what you did was to leave them in the wrong place. So in the right place for longer than they should have stayed for, which is where the problem is. So technically, also if you found yourself in a place and once you stay longer, you just realize that more problems out of nowhere sometimes. Not like you're even like trying to force it, but it just tends to happen. So that could be like a sign that your time is coming shorter. But basically, being able to discern the seasons that we find ourselves in. Next up will be to just take a step back and admire the things that you've done. So as a creative, as a person, as an entrepreneur, as a 9-to-5, maybe, you can be so caught up in grind culture and hustle culture that you forget to just take a step back and to look at the things you've done, look at the things that you plan to do at some point, and realize that, oh wait, I plan to do this thing and truly I achieved it, right? And truly you've done it, and now it's done, it's over. But like it feels like there's still that, but then at the back of your mind, you feel like there's still something missing. But then you haven't taken an actual step. Sit back, relax, and admire all you've done. Sometimes, truly speaking, it may not be up to par to what you would have wanted as a person too. You have to give yourself that grace to realize that everything you do, you grow through it. Like you grow with it, rather. You should. If you're not, it's a problem, but you should grow through it, grow with it. For me, that would be short films, right? Realizing that, okay, I made this short film and okay, yes, maybe there are one or two things I could have done better. There are better ways I could have told the story, but then I made it. So now instead of beating myself up to to that extent, I'm going to put that effort into the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the ones to everything to come, really. So just take a step back and really just admire the things that you've done, not to become worshippers of the works of your hands. Important, but just to admire what you've done. Give yourself grace to realize that I've done and I can do better, and I'm going to do better. So another thing to note is that you won't always be motivated. You won't always feel the drive to do the things that you want to do, even if it's things that you love, even if it's your passions. You don't always feel the drive to continually push your passions, and it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just once as an adult, you will be tired on days, and then you not feel up to it some days. Imposter syndrome will kick in some days. Some days you're not just in the mood. You're not just in the mood to do the things you genuinely enjoy. And honestly speaking, that's fine. But at the same time, it's not enough reason to, while in that mood, it's not enough reason to keep yourself down. Yeah, I don't know why, but like mentally, negative emotions tend to resonate mentally longer than positive. And I don't know why that is, but it does tend to be that way. The more you feel demotivated, no matter whatever they are feeling, is just pick yourself up and show up, right? Just show up for yourself daily. An important way that somebody puts it is like, it's little drops of water that make an ocean. Doesn't matter if it's small or plenty. It's like as you continue to pour into yourself and into the things that you, one way or the other, you will fill up. but it still takes that amount of effort of showing up to the occasion, first of all. And not just showing up, but like people have put out words for you, right? People put out words for you, people vouch for you, and it wouldn't be, you kind of owe it to them to continue to show up for them, to show up when they've put these words out for you. There's this mentality of people saying you don't owe anybody anything, but if somebody has put out a word for you, you owe it to them to represent in excellence. You owe it to them to keep the kind of reputation they have put out there. You owe it to them, honestly speaking. And then showing up again, also for like, not even just for people's names or like yourself, but also for people. More times than not, you wouldn't always feel up to it. Sometimes you won't always be comfortable, but then you have to remember that amidst comfort as a feeling, you don't always be comfortable. Imagine if every single time you needed to do something, you always needed to wait in comfort. Like if you get exam, for instance, now, not comfortable to, I don't think it's comfortable for anybody to wake up at 1 a.m. to read. I don't think it's comfortable for anybody to stay up overnight to read or study for anything. It's not, I don't think it's comfortable because you feel the effects at some point. You feel the fatigue, you feel the tiredness, you feel the pain. Not comfortable. If you had to wait for comfort every time to do things that would drive you to a certain point in life, you most probably would either be too slow or you just won't achieve that much. But a lot of things will be comfortable. Even following leading from God won't be comfortable. That's the last one I'm going to put out here. But like, you won't always be comfortable. So showing up isn't comfortable all the time, but you just really owe it to yourself and to the ones that vouch for you. When it comes to showing up, talk about building community. Right? So as much as it takes a village, you also need to be part of that village. For it to build community, you need to be part of the community. It's a very flimsy entitlement mentality to be expecting water from a well that you did not contribute to filling. And it's weird, right? So, and then you think about it, to building community really helps because at the end of the day, you realize that you might not have everything figured out. And it's okay to not have everything figured out, but then you have people around you that would have these things figured out, so certain aspect of things that you can leverage on and help everybody grow together, all at once. When it comes to like pulling resources together, right? You might not have everything at the start, right? And it's fine as well, but you also have people around you. You have one or two things and you can pull your resources together, building together, creating together, and just having that community to be able to do things together, and it's really helpful. And last but not the least, it is trusting God with reckless abandon. This of the reckless abandon entails non-calculated process. You just step into it without thinking of the what ifs. It makes you think. You open 1 Corinthians 2:14. It says, "Person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolishness and cannot understand them because they are discerned only through the Spirit." So it makes you think, right? The things you do as a person trusting God with reckless abandon, more times than not, you seem very miscalculated. You seem very careless sometimes. Context of Nigeria now and me. I had a job last year, full-time 9 to 5, and to an extent it's like, okay, steady pay. You already know what you're expecting at the end of the month. Some benefits and allowances too. And it's like, you think about this, and a lot of people complain that there's no work in the country, and it's like, I mean, me with a job, I'm leaving. A job that has a level of benefits, I'm leaving. Why? Like, why? How do you answer these questions, right? It makes you start thinking and introspecting, like, this time I'm doing that, so am I even making sense to myself? And then you think about how you answer the questions that come with it too. At the same time too, after that I got a remote job, right? I'm working from home, and it's comfortable because I'm from home. I'm at home, right? I'm not going to any of it. And still, I had leaving to leave that recently. In my mind, I'm like, so now I'm freelancing, and the rocky part of freelancing is that it's not constant, right? But you have to now deep it and realize that, wait, actually calm down. Like, genuinely speaking, what exactly is the next step? And that's just the thing about trusting God with reckless abandon. You may not always know the end point, but you're rest assured that you'll be fine. You're rest assured that all things work together for your good. You're fully, the plans that God has for you are of good and not of evil, right? So you can't be stranded. You wouldn't fall. Yeah, it can be stressful because nobody will ever tell you that. Nobody should tell you that following leading is not stressful. It will test you. It will actually test you, right? It will test you. And yeah, that's really where it comes down to being able to like yield. To trust reckless abandon is to like avoid every form of calculation. The problem with that calculation is that the more you're trying to do, okay, what if I do this, and you're wasting time. You have to remember that obedience to God can also be very time bound. If you miss that window, it can be very problematic too and detrimental to your progress as well. And once you feel led to do one or two things, the longer you let it tarry, the shorter the opportunity win. I also had to remind myself that okay, there are times where I've not had like a full-time job and I was fine. Like I was okay, I was thriving. Why am I scared of it now? Like what exactly am I scared of now? You remember that at the end of the day, both faith and fear require imagination to work. So are you letting your fears thrive for you, or are you letting your faith carry you? That's a question to sit with. But anyways, once again, that's really been it. Yeah, continue to keep your faith up and continue to trust God with reckless abandon. Continue to trust God and to pay off. It always pays off. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. It's been me once again. Stay tuned for more videos. Like, subscribe, and share. And see you guys in the next one. Bye.